runners make mistakes, and when they're pointed out to us, they can seem so obvious, but they do need pointing out to us. So today, we've compiled a list of 10 common running mistakes. And listen up, because you may recognise some of these yourself.
Number 1, doing too much too soon. Now, if you're new to running or you're coming back after a break or you've got a new goal, your enthusiasm is going to be really high along with your motivation, but this is dangerous because you could end up rushing the process and as a result risking injury or even burnout. So you need to give your body time to adapt and make sure that you increase both the mileage and the intensity at a nice gradual rate. And if you follow a program, this will help you stay on track.
Number 2, cheaping out on your footwear. Yeah, trying to save money with your footwear choice is a big mistake. Now, whilst you don't need to go buying the most expensive footwear out there, trying to save money by either buying very cheap footwear or by not replacing your old and worn out footwear is actually a false economy, because not only is that going to potentially reduce your enjoyment and comfort of running, it could also increase the risk of injury, which could end up costing you more money in the long run. So make sure you get the right footwear for you and you replace it before it's worn out and no longer cushioning and supporting you.
Well, before we move on to number 3, I just want to give you guys a quick nudge to remind you to click on the globe and that bell icon so you won't miss any more of our GTN videos. And whilst you're at it, why not give us a like as well? Okay, so number 3, overstriding. Now, this is a common mistake when people think that taking longer, larger strides is going to mean you go faster, but it doesn't work like that. In actual fact, overstriding is usually linked with heel striking. It's when your foot is landing way out in front of you, and it's basically acting like a bit of a brake. So you're kind of stopping yourself with every stride and you're losing momentum and having to work much harder. So you want your foot to be landing more underneath your center of gravity, more onto the ball of your foot. And to do this, try to think of making slightly shorter strides, but keeping them at a nice and high tempo so you're increasing the stride rate.
Number 4, not warming up. You can't expect your body to go from rest to suddenly your desired running pace, and forcing it to do so could be a big mistake. This is especially important in high-paced races, but equally so important in your day-to-day training. You should gradually warm your body up, so when you're starting out, start out a nice, easy pace, even walking if you feel the need to do so. This is going to allow your muscles, ligaments, tendons, joints, all time to become more mobile, more supple, and work more effectively. You will likely find that actually in turn, this helps to improve your running pace, all whilst reducing the risk of injury.
Number 5, going out too fast. This one applies to training and racing. Pacing in running is really key, and if you're especially in a race situation, you're quite often feeling really fresh and you've got adrenaline flowing, and it's so tempting to go out fast. You might even think, oh, I'm going to get some time in the bank, and if I ease off later, it doesn't matter so much. But on the whole, the fastest times are going to be those that are run over the most even pace. So you need to try and control that. In actual fact, at the start of a training effort or a racing effort, it's probably going to feel almost too comfortable, but you have to remember the bigger picture, and if you can, it's better to even have a little bit left at the end so you can finish more strongly, and that's going to result in either the best training output or the fastest race time.
Number 6, not drinking enough. For your body to operate properly, you need to be well hydrated. This obviously applies to running, but also throughout the rest of your day. Now, as runners, we're often guilty of simply drinking after a run when we're obviously thirsty, and then little else, or going on a long run and barely drinking at all. But actually, it can take up to 72 hours to rehydrate after a long run or a race. So make sure you're staying well hydrated throughout the day and throughout all your training, so that it improves your recovery and ultimately your running performance.
Number 7, not eating. Well, along with drinking, you need to eat in order to run. Some people do think that They run so they can eat, but this isn't really a very healthy relationship. In fact, your body needs fuel in order to run. So you'll need fuel before running, but also you'll need to replenish your stores after a run. So make sure you've planned a good nutrition program around your running so that your body has enough energy in order to be able to go and enjoy it and also to get stronger. And when you start to make your runs longer, so 60 to 90 minutes plus, you want to think about actually fueling during your run. So whether that's gels, chews, or even taking an energy drink with you.
Number 8, running the same routes. Yet running should be interesting and varied, yet many runners end up falling into the trap of running the same routes over and over again. Now, unfortunately, this can lead to 2 main issues. One being boredom and staleness, whereas actually running new routes all the time can help with motivation, enjoyment, and actually help with you sticking to a program. The second being that it can actually start to create an unhealthy comparison with yourself. Because by running the same routes all the time, you end up expecting a progression and improvement from one run to the next, which is totally unrealistic and can really affect your motivation. So get out there, start exploring, trying some new routes, and finding that enjoyment.
Number 9, tensing the upper body. Having tension in this area is going to waste energy. It's going to affect your stride and potentially even restrict your breathing. So you want to really focus on trying to relax and let your upper body just move naturally. So a few points to really think about are keeping that jaw relaxed, trying to drop your shoulders, having a nice bend in your elbows around 90 degrees, but again, not forcing it, having just a soft sort of feel in your hands. And every now and then, it's quite a good idea to sometimes just shake your arms out all together to just encourage that overall relaxation.
Number 10, not varying your run pace. Yeah, it's not uncommon for runners to just head out the door and settle into their pace. Not varying your running pace is a mistake. Some runs should be nice and easy, some runs should be incredibly easy, some runs should be a bit faster, some runs should take you really out of your comfort zone, even if it's just for the shortest period. By varying the pace of your runs, it's not only going to help with variety and enjoyment of your running, it's also going to train different energy zones and systems, which in turn will improve your running. And for that reason, many people actually end up running solo all the time because they can't find someone to match their pace. But you need to embrace this variety of pace. Embrace that run with your mates who maybe can't run quite as fast as you and you have to slow things down. And embrace that run with your mate that is always a bit faster than you want to go and really takes you out of your comfort zone. Obviously, always in moderation.
Well, we hope that this list of common mistakes has just helped remind you not to make them. And if there's any other mistakes that we've forgotten, maybe you used to do, well, please share that in the comments section below. And remember, give us a like if you enjoyed this video.